What's going on, guys? So another video topic that gets requested quite often that I try to revamp every so often is when it comes to some strong, affordable, fresh fragrances. Strong for me when it comes to freshies are minimum 6 to 8 hours, some even 10, 12 hours, it all depends, but the fresher the fragrance, the more the challenge to get longevity out of it, but they're always bright when they're super fresh. They're always loud at first when they're super fresh. So in this video, I've got 10 very specific fragrances that on my skin, for me, are A, most importantly, very affordable, and B, second most important, which I would think most important to you guys, is they're very strong, fresh fragrances. So we're going to dive into these 10. Stay tuned. With Invictus Aqua 2018 becoming harder and harder to find, it's gotten scarce. I've looked for it recently. I stand by this being the best affordable alternative to grab Halloween Man Hero from Jesus del Pozo. This smells not exactly one-to-one because I've said many times, Invictus Aqua 2018 is my favorite fragrance in my collection. This is close. This is a little bit more soapy because the lavender in here replaces the violet and violet leaf in Invictus Aqua 2018. And that's pretty much the only difference. This is a soapier take. This still has that bright, fresh, aquatic, bubblegum citrus smell. Performs about the same, if even a little better in some ways. I get a solid 8 hours of longevity on my skin with this one. And it's actually pretty loud in the first 2 hours. And the skin scent that it turns into is actually on the stronger side. Like the sillage, I would consider it to be in the moderate range. This stuff's actually pretty strong on my skin. In a 4.2 ounce bottle like this, $40 range, very, very affordable, great stuff if you're looking for an easygoing freshie that has some power, some staying power, the ability to captivate people, potentially get you a compliment. I mean, look no further. I figured this was the best fragrance to start this video with because it really checks all the boxes really well, especially when it comes to scent profiles that I love, such as Invictus Aqua. It is Halloween Man Hero. I will have a link down below to Joma's shop. I did see they're carrying this for 30 bucks now. That is cheaper than I paid for it around the time it came out, but if you want the longer lasting version of Versace Mano Fresh, you should get Armaf or a Fresh. This is a solid 8-hour fragrance on my skin as well. Smells pretty much like if Versace Mano Fresh was available in an eau de parfum concentration. You still get that sour carambola starfruit note, all the bright citruses that go along with that. It's watery, it's very clean and musky, it's got a little bit of that fresh spicy edge to it in its heart. It smells pretty much one-to-one in my opinion with Versace Mano Fresh, just a little bit richer, a little bit longer lasting. It's not quite as bright as Versace Mano Fresh because we're talking an eau de parfum versus an eau de toilette, but it's still pretty damn strong and it's much longer lasting. I get every bit of 2 to 3 hours more of life on my skin from this than what it's a clone of. And I saw you can get it for 30 bucks now. That's actually cheap. That's a great price point for this. That puts it cheaper for 100 ml versus Versace Mano Fresh from discounters. And I'm telling you guys, it's a carbon copy that performs better. I'm spraying it again because, man, this is some good stuff. I did a full review on this one last year, and I'm glad to see that it's available for a great price now. So if you're interested, check it out in the link below. But again, that's Armaf or a Fresh. I can tell you firsthand because I have a rather large decant of Acqua di Gio Essenza. This is about as close as it gets in performance, in scent profile, just across the board. We're talking Bentley For Men Silverlake. This stuff's still incredible. This is still an 8 to 10 hour fragrance for around 40 bucks. Some places you can even find it in the 30s, but $35 to $50 range, and it smells great. It smells like a powerful version of Acqua di Gio, which is basically what Acqua di Gio Essenza is. A little bit more on the greenery than it is on the aquatics. It's kind of the biggest difference between the original and Essenza. This nails it down. A little metallic and aquatic at the same time. There's some violet leaf here that kind of gives it that feel. There's citruses, like I said, there's fresh, herbaceous green tone to it. Very woodsy and musky. This is good stuff, and it's powerful. The first 2 hours, it is a very strong projector. It's pretty much for a fresh fragrance, it's on the beastly side. That's why it had to be in this video. Crazy expensive to get a 75 ml of Acqua di Gio Essenza, so I would encourage you, if you ever liked that scent profile and you'd love to get a bottle, just get this. It's pretty much the exact same thing in performance and scent, and it's way, way more affordable. One of the better strong cheapies out there as far as fresh fragrances is Bentley For Men Silverlake. Compared to what it smells closest to, it's actually a fresher, more sharper citrus overall. It's more clean and musky in the dry down. Doesn't have as much of a woody tone or a leathery feel, and it's not as sweet and fruity, but it is still pretty damn close to Mancera Cedrat Boisé. This is from Paris Corner in their Emir range. This is Cedrat Essence. You can get this for around 30 bucks, and it is awesome. 7-8 hour range is typically what I get on my skin. Sometimes I've gotten in that 6 hour range, but typically it falls in the 7 to 8 hour range. Man, beautiful, beautiful. This is that much fresher. I would say 20% or better fresher than Mancera Cedrat Boisé. That one's a little bit more dense and sweet in its fruity citrus tone at the top. Here you still get kind of that sharp candied lemon, but it's not quite as candy sweet. It's more mouth-watering fresh with the bergamot and other citruses that are here. There's some good stuff, guys. I did a full review on this one a few months back as well, and it deserves a spot in a video like this because it's extremely affordable. Not a one-to-one carbon copy. It definitely smells like Cedrat Boisé, though. You can tell that's what they were going for. It's even in the name. But in some ways, if maybe you weren't a fan of how sweet that one was or how leathery and woodsy that one was, if you like added freshness, more of a watery citrus than a sweet citrus, and more of a clean musk than a leather smell, this might be the avenue for you to go, and it's very affordable. Less than half the price of what you can get Cedrat Boisé from discounters. You can get $60, $70, $80 range for Cedrat Boisé. You can get this for 30 bucks. Performs at least as good, and for some people even better, and it's fresher. It's beautiful. This is actually a really, really good fragrance. I highly recommend this one. This is Paris Corner Emir Cedrat Essence. This one never ceases to amaze me. For as simple of a fragrance as it is, I get 8 hours easy on my skin. Pretty loud in the first 2 hours. It surprises me because it's so bright and fresh at the same time. It's more of a creamy grapefruit smell with this fresh, aromatic, spicy sage that turns a little musky as it dries. It's cool water grapefruit and sage. This was a limited edition but can be found at the discount sites for a great price in that $30 and below range for a 4.2 ounce like this, which I paid 25 or 30 bucks for Marshall's, I believe it was, when I grabbed this one. And I am digging this. Big fan. I picked this one up, I believe, in my trip to Louisiana last year, and there was a few weeks straight after I got it where I was wearing it a few times a week. And now that we're moving into the warmer weather, it's going to start hitting the rotation again. This has easily become one of my favorite versions of Cool Water. I put this over Aquaman and Street Fighter. I wear this more than the Intense, which this smells like a fresher take on the Intense. It's not near as sweet. It smells similar. Some will say it's the watered down Cool Water Intense, but not really. Yeah, it performs a little bit less, but it's still a beast on my skin, just not quite the beast that Cool Water Intense is. And like I said, the sweetness is toned back heavily, but this is some really good stuff. I'm telling you, if you can find this at a rack store, it's a steal at the price you find it for. If you grab it from the link down below, again, steal at that price too. Very, very underrated, really strong, cheap freshie in the Cool Water line. One of the better Cool Water flankers is Grapefruit and Sage. This next one, I mean, it's quintessential. I've featured it in a lot of videos similar to this topic because it's a poster child for it. It's Azzaro Chrome Extreme. Named appropriately, it smells like an extreme take on chrome with a little bit of Acqua di Gio Profondo's DNA going for it. It's very aquatic, metallic, synthetic, citrus and oceanic, little saltwater, breezy type of fragrance, musky and powerful. 8 to 10 hours of longevity. Strong in the first 2.5, 3 hour range, somewhere in that realm of my skin. We're going to spray it again. It's so good. I wore this one last week. It's still my favorite version of Chrome, and I have a bunch of versions of Chrome at this point. Most recently, I picked up the Eau de Parfum, which I'm really enjoying. Went through a decant, now I have a 50 ml, but this is still the cream of the crop, king of the Chrome Mountain for me personally. This is some really, really good stuff, guys. If you haven't gotten your nose in this one yet, you should, for sure. It is redundant if you have Acqua di Gio Profondo, don't get me wrong, but if you don't, this is a more affordable way to smell pretty close to that without sacrificing performance, and you pretty much get almost the same exact wearing experience. This is great stuff. Can get it in the sub $50 price point, and it's a beast of an aquatic blue. It's Azzaro Chrome Extreme. I know damn good and well if I don't have this fragrance in here, somebody, if not several people, are going to say, well, where is Rasasi Hawas? Well, here it is. It's in the video. It deserves a spot because you can get it in the sub $50 price point. It's a sweet bubblegum aquatic with a bunch of spice from cinnamon and cardamom. It smells kind of like Invictus, but spicier. The Middle Eastern take on Invictus. And it's a beast on my skin. I don't wear more than 4 sprays. It's 10 plus hours, 10 to 12 hour range, I would say, on my skin. I featured this one a bunch of times. I was very late to the party, but man, this is good stuff. A lot of people will relate it to their take on Invictus Aqua and say this came out before Invictus Aqua, which, yes, this came out before Invictus Aqua 2016, but it didn't come out before Invictus. I think it's sweeter than Invictus Aqua 2016. It smells more like regular Invictus to me, but that's neither here nor there. It's an ongoing conversation I seem to have with viewers. Just my opinion, of course. But this is good stuff. There's a lot of hype behind this fragrance over the years, and in my opinion, it's justified and well-deserved, because this is a banger. If you want bang for your buck and you like the sweet aquatics, and you want a beast of a performer, and you're not going to spend a lot of money, I mean, this is probably the Rasasi's top seller. It's a monster. It deserves a seat at this particular table. We're talking about Rasasi Hawas for him. Now, though its recent version, the 4.0, I do believe to be the best from the house, we're talking fresh. This is way, way fresher, brighter, aromatic, a bunch of citrus. This used to be my favorite from the house until the newest version came out. This is from Authenticity Perfumes. Summer Vibez 2.0, the green label. So you can see the dent in that bottle. I enjoy this one quite a bit. I only wear it in the summer. It's a beast. It's 50% oil concentration. And it's still, for high oil concentration like that, it manages to be super crazy, bright, strong, and loud. And it's every bit of 10 to 12 hours on my skin. This is so good. A lot of lime, lavender, tangerine. It's not your typical citrus freshy opening, though it's also not the most unique thing in the world either. But it's so inherently fresh, aldehydic, heavily juicy citric. It can almost have a bit of a cleaner smell. Disinfectant type of smell at the top because it's so bright and sharp. So I've seen both sides of the fence where it smells like a disinfectant and it's, oh my God, it's amazing. I've seen both sides of it. I get where both sides are coming from. But for me, I love this stuff. This is gorgeous on my skin. If you're looking for the brightest, the freshest, and the strongest for $40 before discount codes, this is the brightest fragrance from the house. This is one of the brightest fragrances in this video. And when I say bright, I mean crazy, airy, and fresh. This is that. Like I said, before the 4.0 yellow version that's basically pineapple juice came out, this was my favorite from the house. So now it's my second favorite. But it's the freshest of the two. That's why I featured this one. Again, that's Authenticity Perfumes Summer Vibez 2.0. My. I have seen prices come down on this one, and it makes me happy to see that. Because it's a great fragrance. It's a great fragrance. This is another one that's been featured in similar topics to this many times on this channel because it's just so damn good. I still think it's the definitive version of Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue because performance is important, right? Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, oh, intense. There's a bunch of great versions of Light Blue. I have 3 of them on the way. Fun fact, at the recording of this last night on eBay, from 2 different sellers, I finally ordered a bottle of Italian Love. So excited that's coming in. Saw a great price on a 50 ml of Forever. Went ahead and grabbed that, even though it's pretty redundant to Italian Love. And I grabbed, was it Beauty of Campari or Living Stromboli? I think I grabbed the Beauty of Campari. I looked at both. But I have 3 light blue flankers coming in. Because I'm a big fan of the line, and I need to start, the completionist in me wants to grab more of them, because there's no such thing as a bad light blue flanker. But if you want the best one, the best performer, the strongest compliment getter, the most aquatic and oceanic saltwater smell, because there's sea salt, there's a heavy sea salt smell to this one. Oh, Intense is the best. I still say the original is the best smelling one. This is my opinion. It's a very nostalgic fragrance for me. It was a turning point fragrance in my fragrance journey. The original Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, I think, is the best smelling one. This is the richer, more intense version. It is a true, properly named intense flanker. It's stronger in scent profile and in performance. It's hard to beat, and it's pretty affordable these days. This is a great fragrance. This will probably always be in this topic. As long as it's affordable, you'll see Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, oh, intense. I've had people in the last few days even tell me they get 10 to 12 hours on their skin with this fragrance. That's crazy. I get 6 to 8 hours, which I'm happy with. Like I said, when it comes to really fresh, 6 to 8 hours is really strong for a fresh fragrance. When you start clipping 9, 10, 11, 12 hours, that's crazy for a fresh fragrance, honestly. But this one might be the best smelling fragrance in this video. Like, if I had to just pick one, like, this is going to be the one that I wear this summer. as far as affordable fragrances. Of these 10, I think it would be Missoni Wave. No shortness of love for this fragrance on this channel, guys. Regulars on this channel, you've seen me talk about this one many, many times. I love it. It's so good. Smells like, and a lot of you know this already, smells like a more affordable take, cheaper version, if you will, of Chanel L'Homme Sport. A little bit of Versace Pour Homme relation, sure. White floral soapy tone. But there's a lot of citrus. It's watery and aquatic. It's soapy from the aromatics. It is very creamy floral, as well as vanillic sweet and woodsy. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot to like. Performance is well above average. I'm not going to call this one a beast. I know it's a beast for some people and it's weak for some people. Everybody's reactions on their skin is going to be a little bit different. Your setting, your skin chemistry, it all varies and matters. It does matter. For me, well above average. I wouldn't call it a beast, but I would definitely call this one very strong off of my skin. First 2 hours, very, very potent. And like I said, typically I get 6, 7, even 8, 9 hours sometimes. But more than that 6 to 8 hour range is the sweet spot. I can bank on that every time I wear this, no matter the climate outside, cold, hot, whatever. I'm getting at least 6 to 8 hours out of this fragrance. If you can find this one in a rack store, it's $32, unless they screwed up the pricing at Marshall's. That stuff happens. You'll see it for $59. Don't buy it for that. I bought it for $32 at TJ Maxx, and I've seen it at TJ Maxx and Marshall's since for the same price. And online, you can get it in the $36 to $54 range. It's worth the money there, especially if you can get it right around that $40 mark. I think that's the sweet spot for this one. It is a steal at that price point, in my opinion. Like I said, if I had to just keep one of the 10 fragrances we've talked about in this video, I kind of saved the best for last. It's Missoni Wave. You see how excited I get talking about this one. We kind of ramped up. We started out hot, stayed nice and warm with the momentum, and got on fire here at the end with some of the greatness in this video. Of course, it's all just my opinion. To each their own, but this is one that I strongly encourage you. Get your hands on it. I don't know how easy it would be to sample it, but if you want your money's worth, the compliment factor is massive on this one in my experience, guys. And a lot of my friends on the internet seems to be a similar case for them. It's cheap. It's a very affordable fragrance. It smells similar to a very classic DNA. It doesn't smell cheap. And it performs really well. I mean, what more can you ask for? The freshness is there. The complexity, depth, and intrigue is also there. It's not a basic-ass scent. Not to me, anyways. For the money, it's really hard to beat Missoni Wave. Well, that's the 10 that I have for you today. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback. And I love hearing from you guys. What of these 10 have you tried personally? What of these 10 maybe sparks your interest? Like I said, I'll have links to everything down below so you guys can check it out if you're interested in any of it. Until next time, I will say if you get your hands on any of these 10, you give them a spray now. I'm pretty confident you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.